Hello again, everyone. One more time, you're up front with Frank Rothstein on Sky's Crescent Radio. Believe it or not, we're going again. Sky's Crescent Radio. We're live on YouTube. Also, you can find us on skyscrescentradio.com. We're also sharing and broadcasting live on Facebook at the Upfront with Frank Rothstein Facebook page or with the Sky's Crescent Radio page. Not to mention, you will find us also down the road on iHeart, on Spreaker, on this, on that, and the other thing. We're just all over the damn place. Glad you're here. Feel free to leave messages, comments, anytime you want. My email is upfrontfrank@gmail.com, upfrontfrank@gmail.com. I've gone back to the classic ballpoint pen, Bic, because the other things I have with gel pens, they just all dry up in 3 minutes. Waste of time. Solid. Never give up. They last forever. Anyway, there's my plug of the day. Sitting with me as usual from her blue room, deep in the heart of Music Land, it is of course, Jade Zabrick. Hello, Jade. How are ya? She's not going to talk. I have to intentionally say something really wrong for Jade to talk. That's about it. So if anybody wants to hear Jade's voice, tell me what offensive thing I could say so she'll jump in and go to correct. This is what's going to, otherwise I get no audio love here. So it's been another week, another news dollar. Things are always going on somewhere. You know, we had the Super Bowl. A lot of people, again, I only get to talk to you once a week. So it's not like I can simply pop on and say, did you just see that? Did you hear what just happened? It doesn't really happen. So one thing I have to do is get off of my YouTube page. I'm watching myself. It's very distracting. Well, we all know that during the Super Bowl halftime show, we all heard that Eminem took a knee during his performance. All right. Well, everyone knows it wasn't a spontaneous thing. It was all well planned in the rehearsals. NBC knew about it. Everybody knew about it, except the people in the stadium and, of course, us in television land. Well, only our former mayor, attorney general, mayor of America's mayor, Rudy, said that Eminem should leave the country because he took it. Nobody else cared. No one really cared. It was part of the thing. He took a knee. So what? It's his knee. Let him take it, except for Rudy. So I don't know what's going to be on Rudy's case if he ever goes to court with all his legal troubles, but he may have a jury to deal with. I don't know who he's offending or who he's insulting next, but he has truly become a one-of-a-kind, unique individual, and that's why I simply refer to him affectionately as Rudy. Anyway, on to more important topics and news, if I actually have some news to talk about. Well, let's see. Well, as we all know, besides Eastern European problems, which could lead to war, we all know that Canada, the blockade at the bridges has been broken up. Justin Trudeau, as they said, cracked down on it, sent in the police, and it's been cleared up and all that. Well, our politicians are talking, and Candace Owens came up with the idea that the U.S. should invade Canada. Let me read this as a quote because I don't want to get it wrong in case Candace says I got it wrong. And I'm looking at her Twitter post, so word for word. I quote, "Stop talking about Russia. Send American troops to Canada to deal with the tyrannical reign of Justin Trudeau Castro. He has fundamentally declared himself dictator and is waging war on innocent Canadian protesters and those who have supported them financially." Well, now, okay, I never heard of America invading Canada, but I never heard of America invading Canada. This is all over vaccine mandates. That's where it started. So, okay, the truckers park their trucks. I don't agree with it personally. I don't think blocking up everybody everywhere that has nothing to do with it should suffer because whatever the cause of the moment is, whatever your reason for being there is. Um, but I don't know that sending the troops to Canada, good thing she's not in charge, to invade Canada to do what? To remove Trudeau from office? He's an elected official. Um, I love some of these stories because they're really relatively unimportant. But for me, at least, they're amusing. I really get a laugh at this. And I was talking to someone today, says who's thinking that the mask mandate should be over. And I don't agree with telling everyone how to live, what they should do. And I've said it, I think everyone should vaccinate, but it's not my business if you don't. I've mentioned that many, many times. Um, it's what can I say and what can you say, what can you do, right? But somehow I don't think sending in the troops to invade Canada would be the answer. Then again, there's also the flip side of when you leave the people alone to do what they want, leave 200 million people alone to do what they want, you're going to get 200 million things that they want to do. And it's usually chaotic when it happens because people do what they want to do and they hide behind their rights. I have the right not to do it. I have the right to do it. That's generally, you see a lot of that. That's a lot of the reasoning behind a lot of YouTube videos by the so-called First Amendment auditors. Everything is, I have the right, I have the right to do, I have the right not to do. All right. Except there has to be something somewhere in the middle because I cannot believe that it is the right thing to do to park a million trucks and in front of a bridge and a roadway and clog everything up so nothing can flow into America from Canada, whatever's going on, whatever goes over this bridge in Canada. I cannot believe this is the way to go. I cannot believe it's the way to go in California. Nothing's being shipped around. This is no truckers. I cannot believe that this is, it's just at some point, even if you're right, at some point you become wrong because people who have nothing to do with it start to suffer. As I was reading today, and some new shortages in the grocery stores that parents are finding a hard time getting baby formula. They can't find the baby formula as easily as they used to, but babies have to be fed. And before you say that the mother should be breastfeeding, well, we don't know that all mothers can breastfeed. We don't know what's going on in the house. So baby formula has been around a zillion years, like milk before it. Um, you just don't know why. And if parents want to use baby formula, so be it. That's great. But you can't find a lot of things. And that's wrong. That's wrong. I really do believe that's wrong. If it were up to me and you can't get things on the highway, I would get people on trains, not people. I would get product on trains and bring it into whatever stations to be unloaded there. And that's how one of the other options I would investigate. There's a lot of options to investigate, but somehow clogging up the highways may not be the answer. And if you're doing that in America, remember, you're doing it in America where people have rights to express themselves in many different ways. As I've said before, if you do things in certain other countries in different time periods, the problem would be handled within an hour. So yeah, that's what's going on. But somehow I have a feeling that we're not exactly going to invade Canada. At least I hope. Secondly, if we did, well, when negotiations come up for a ceasefire, who gets the rights to Niagara Falls? We do share it, but that will be a whole other debate. What else is going on here? As we all heard before I even forget to mention it, I know it's been all over the news. I do wish Queen Elizabeth well because she has tested positive for COVID and the woman is 95. Somehow it seems to me she's been 95 for 5 years, but okay. The woman is 95 and she has COVID. So I hear it's very mild in symptoms, but She is still 95. So hopefully the Queen does well and recovers nicely. What else is going on? I didn't even put my stories in order today because I did it very, very fast. One of the things, this is a story that I find to be somewhat smart to do that he did it, but I don't like the way he did it. Kanye West, excuse me, Ye, has come up with his latest album, Down to Two, and it's going to cost you about $230 to listen to it. And that's because Kanye has not put it out on listening services. His reasoning is he doesn't like the way musicians have been treated, the way they get paid, and he's not going to put his music out there. So I understand, to his credit, that he's standing by his fellow musicians and he's with them. But charging to put it out on a device that you have to pay over $200 for, it's known as a STEM player. It's a handheld device that he began selling last fall, which he now says will be the exclusive platform and hardware for the forthcoming album. Okay, it's a base price of $200, $10 for shipping, plus taxes. That in California works out to just over $20. So you have a close plus. It's getting to be about 220, a little over. Okay, that's the round. So it's not like he needs the money anymore, but to charge people $230, $220, $230 to listen to his album, well, he sort of lost me on that one. Even though that by now he has made a few million doing it. Yes, people are paying for it. Okay, they want to pay for it. Good for them. Now you spent a few $100, a couple of $100 on this thing. You're holding it in your hand. You've listened to the album. You've listened to the album once, twice, 5 times, and you're still out a couple of $100. So I'm not sure what else this device does, but if it's only for Kanye music, then you can only listen to it once in a while when he puts out the next piece of music. That he's standing by musicians and not letting others make money on his product, I think is great. That he's charging his fans $200 for a device, plus all the shipping and tax charges. I think that is bad. I think that's wrong. But it is not my product. It's not my say. I'll leave it to Kanye. I don't know if he needs the money or not, but it's not my thing. But what do I know? What is this? Then we get to some sick people. Let's get to some sick people in the world. Let's get to the easier one first. A Tennessee woman. Well, I don't know if this is the easier one, but it's the one I clicked on. Okay, let's try it that. It's the one this is not an easy one. This is the one I clicked on. This is horrible. A Tennessee woman had sex with 9 high school students in exchange for vape pens. And people who smoke or don't use the vape pen to sit there and pretend they're smoking. So it says here, residents in a small Tennessee town are shaken up after a woman was indicted for having sex with at least 9 local high school students in exchange for vape pens. Her name is Melissa Blair. She's 38. She was arrested last Tuesday, and was charged with 18 counts of statutory rape, 4 counts of human trafficking by patronizing prostitution, solicitation of a minor, and forfeiture of personal property. Okay. Well, now you know the story. The kids were between 14 and 17. So we're looking at 9 counts. But I don't know how long between the 9 kids, how much time had passed. So theoretically, 9 kids, this could be 2 weeks, could have been 2 months. I really don't know. But I am sure she didn't just invent the thing. So now they have to find out. Now authorities are going to try to find out just how many kids were really involved in this. How many, you're taking it from a point of view of a 14 to 17-year-old boy, well, they're kind of stupid. I was no genius at 14 and 17. You know, at the time I thought this, but no, I was no genius between 14 and 17. And you're a 14 and 17-year-old, and there's a woman one, yeah, they think they did good. But the 38-year-old, well, I don't, she's out on $100,000 bond. I don't know how, because if this was a guy doing this to young boys and girls, he'd be held, he wouldn't be allowed anywhere. But when it comes to child predators and rape, I don't know how, but sometimes, how and how, but it seems that women and men are viewed differently. And it's equally as bad. Make no mistake, this is equally as bad. I don't know what the penalties are, and I don't know what the law requires in Tennessee, but this is bad. She gave them toys, vape pens, some other crap which wasn't listed. Someone gave her up. There was an anonymous letter, and they looked into it. They got her. She was a booster in the high school on the school team. She was a booster. She was involved in the booster club. Put it that way. She had a child in the school system who was transferred, so she used that as the key to get in there. And this is what went on. I think it's horrible. Yeah. Her arraignment is on February 28th. And I don't know what happens from there, but I don't know how many books there are that you can throw at her. But put her in the leper colony of child predators that exist. That's my idea. Now for someone who's a different type of disgusting in Utah. It says Utah human rights advocate arrested for faking a cancer diagnosis. It says here she was arrested for faking the diagnosis and collecting thousands of dollars in medical expenses. This is Coco Berthman, who is 28 years old. She was taken into custody last Wednesday, booked into Salt Lake City County Jail while being investigated for communications fraud. She has not been formally charged yet, so they're going to try to see what they're going to do to her. She was arrested in the suburb of South Jordan. They're sort of trying to figure out which is the best way to get hold of her. I mean, okay, it says here habitual liar, all this stuff, but she came up with the idea that she had a stage 4 cancer and she's collecting money off of it. There's nothing wrong with the woman. There's nothing wrong with it. So far, she had raised a little over $10,000 in the Help Coco Fight Cancer campaign. That's what it's called. Well, GoFundMe has removed the page. But she said she had a cancer that was a 30% chance of survival. And they got her. I don't know what's going to happen to her, but they got her. So there you go. 2 stories, 2 different types of disgusting. Oh my, oh my. What's going on? What are you noticing out there? What's going on in your life this week? That's what I'd like to know. That's always been my curiosity. I'm taking a break from reading a story for a few minutes because listen to the things I talk about. These are all stories that you will never find in the headlines. Let's put it that way. When people ask me what I talk about out here, I say it could be the most obscure stories. Could be very interesting, could be very important, could be utter nonsense. But just picture opening up the newspaper and starting around page 7, page 8. Sometimes, if I want good gossip, page 6. But it's never really the headlines. Only if it really has to be. Like when COVID was the big thing of the day, every minute of every news day. So yeah, I had to. But it's an interesting world out there. Some of the things that go on are worth talking about. So, not because I need to read them, but because I think everyone needs to hear them. So if you have a kid in school, be aware of who's involved and whatever they're involved in. Like I say, you hear me talking about kids committing suicide every now and then because they're from social media. be aware, be aware of what they're doing, keep up. It's not good enough they're not in trouble outside the house, that they're sitting on the couch with a tablet or a phone in their hand. Know what's going on with them at all times, because you don't know who is doing what to a kid. Back to this stuff. Well, yeah, Amazon's been raising its prices as of late. They're raising their Prime memberships. I'm looking at a headline from NBC News that says small businesses say they are hurt by the rising costs to advertise on Amazon. I would say sellers spend more on ads to stay competitive on Amazon's marketplace. I can believe that. It's one of the most popular shopping uh, venues in the world. So it says here, among many other things, Bernie Thompson has seen a change since he started his computer accessories company. Is the price of advertising on Amazon? Yeah, how much did you say you spent here? Let me see. It doesn't say yet. Let me see. A company that he founded in his garage in Bellevue, Washington. He began placing ads on the e-commerce site in 2014. Back then, he paid roughly 14 cents every time someone clicked on an ad. Now each click costs pluggable an average of $1.60. That's the name of his company, Pluggable. So it went from 16 cents about 8 years ago to $1.60. So it went up 10 times. It says for some small businesses, that can add up to more than $100,000 a year. Well, that is Amazon. They're also taking a good size of the profit from their sellers in other areas. If you notice, not all the things you buy on Amazon anymore are great deals. I keep buying things that I know are good deals by comparison. So I'm limited to what I'm buying on Amazon. As I was talking to Jade about shoes a little while ago. The width of my shoe is very wide. I'm a 4E, which means I have an extra wide foot. I can't just walk into a shoe store and do what I want, buy what I want. So it's either you have my size, you don't. So for good or bad, I can go onto Amazon, see something I like. If they have my width, I can get it. But I get very few items on Amazon. I buy the same things over and over, but it's very few items. As far as some of the other things I see out there, no, it is not. It is not a bargain basement like it originally maybe was at one time. If you remember well, even now you want to start buying paper towels out there, cost a fortune, depending on what you're getting. It's a matter, sometimes it's a matter of, if you have the time to go to the store yourself, we'll leave your house, go to some of the local places. Even if it costs you $1 more, $2 more, go to the local places, see what you can get. They need your help too. I think I mentioned this. I'm pretty sure I mentioned this one time. I was joking around. People thought I was crazy when I said there should be a surcharge on every transaction that goes on the internet, a $2 surcharge per transaction. And that's $1 for the federal government and $1 to the state, either where the credit card is billed or where the product is delivered. I think where the product is delivered would work. Why? Because people don't want to leave their house to go get their own stuff. I notice this when I see food delivery services. I don't mean when you go even Grubhub or any of these food grocery delivery services. I mean, $2. Certainly, if you wrote up the list and gave me the money, I said I'll go shopping for you. If I said all you had to do is pay me $2, yeah, it would be worth it. I'm going in the rain and snow. Got to be worth $2. But pretty much, I said this because if you need some simple stuff and all you have to do is get off your ass and go to the local store on the corner or down the block, you don't want to get off your fat ass to do it, pay $2. I would be happy to, because I have 2 grocery stores in my block. Not everybody is this fortunate, but if you can go out to get your hair done, go out to go to the gym, go out to go shopping, get your clothing, go wherever it is you got to go. You can go out to go for dinner. You can go out to go to the bar. You can go out to a lot of places, but you can't go and pick up your own groceries, your own anything that's right there. Pay $2, and that's why Amazon can raise their prices, and you can find outrageous prices for certain items on their service because people don't want to get off their fat ass and go shopping. I still can't believe one time a delivery guy comes to my building around 11 o'clock at night where I live with his delivery bag. I was curious. I said, what are people ordering? He says, coffee. I said, people, you deliver coffee by the pound? He goes, no, coffee. Somebody ordered a cup of coffee. I don't get it. I mean, I know it was late, but there was two places on the corner that could sell them coffee, sell whoever it was coffee, but no. I was talking to one delivery guy who told me he had delivery to an apartment one time, and there were three other delivery guys there because the four people, everybody wanted something else, and nobody. And this was a very busy part of town. And if I remember it correctly, in New York City, they were in the Union Square part of Manhattan, which is very busy. Nobody wanted to leave the house. So that's what happens. Yes, the internet is not what it used to be. Matter of fact, the internet destroys everything in its path. Oh, by the way, if you are in the fan club, if you're a fan of the guy, Donald Trump's Truth social media app has launched. And I hear it's a little complicated to sign up. They're having a couple of glitches. Matter of fact, with a couple, they're using a couple of things on the screen that another company is claiming ownership over in England. And that could lead to a little something. And well, Donald Trump is used to having to deal with a little something legally. So yeah, if you want to go hear a stacked deck of information, Truth Social Media is now live. Okay, next up, what's this? This is something I talked about a couple of times after reading the story that came from a different set of twins. Remember a few years ago, I was talking about a set of twins, identical twins, and they really were identical. They wanted to have children. Well, two of the twins wanted to have children with the same guy. And then they also wanted to have twins with a brotherly set of twins. So it's two girls, two guys, twins. Well, it has happened. Two sisters have left people baffled. I never even used this word, baffled, after saying their two sons are brothers, cousins, and twins. That's because Brittany and Brianna are identical twins who married identical twins, Josh and Jeremy. What is it with naming twins with the same letter? Who thought of this crap? But anyway, yeah, they are twins. And because of their identicalness on both sides, the kids are cousins, obviously, genetic brothers, because it was two boys. Was it quaternary twins, because they're not by the same mother, but they are twins in a way. They look a lot alike, of course. Yeah, both sets of parents then had kids. Same exact DNA created both. Well, yes, they are. So now, you ever hear me say over and over and over that the kids will always pay the check for what the parents do? Here we go. This is it. Now I'm looking at these two cute little boys, two kids. They look to be, they're not a year yet. They could be about maybe 5 months old. They're pretty, 6, 7 months old. They're not quite, unless because of different facial expressions, they're pretty close to identical. But like with all twins, there's always a subtle difference between the two. And obviously, there's going to be a subtle difference between the appearance of both. But yes, they are twins. I'm looking right at them. Yeah, these two kids, well, I hope they have a happy life. You can see the differences in the shapes of the eyes and all, general stuff. Somehow, I think these kids are going to be screwed as they get older. Looks like the brothers were chefs. They're both wearing the chef jacket. Looks like the moms like to dress alike, wearing polka dots. Oh, do kids look cute wearing a little chef's hat? That's cute. But yeah, 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 yeah. Houston, the kids have a problem. I could see it coming. Uh, yeah, I can't even imagine. And wait till they get older and start going to school. Oh, man, I hope things work out all right. Unbelievable. Then I'm reading a story. I was talking last week about metaverse, the virtual reality thing. This was actually a story from November of 21, a few months ago. Last week, I was talking about the girl, it was 2 weeks ago, last week, the girl who said she was groped in a virtual reality game lobby, which means she was sitting in her house wearing a set of goggles, was waiting to get into a game, and in the so-called lobby, some guy who was part of the game supposedly grabbed her. She said she felt violent. You're wearing a helmet, take the helmet off. Anyway, this was something called the metaverse, augmented reality. Pioneer warns it could be far worse than social media. And this is, I agree with this. I said, I agree with it. This is about, it's creating a fake life. And you're dealing with kids. Adults, if they want to be dumb enough to confuse what's real and what's not, what can I say? But a lot of kids are going to get these toys. I mean, right now, kids are already playing with $1,000 cell phones. So why not? Again, like I said before, be aware of what your kids are doing, because this will, especially if to a kid who's impressionable, whose mind is still molding, who's still trying to get their thoughts together, and this is what they'll be doing. They'll be lost on social media, but now they'll be lost in virtual reality. What is not real will become real to them. Like I was talking about a few weeks ago, like the people who were going to church in virtual reality. Well, I mean, I don't go to church. If I go at all, it'll be to a synagogue. Either way, it's all the same. You walk into a building, you sit, whoever leads the service is in charge, can be pretty stuffy in some of these places, not always fresh air flowing. People praying, what's inside of what's inside of every place. There's always a Bible, there's all that stuff. But in virtual reality, like a video game, you get to decorate it any way you want. You get to do whatever you want. You get to make it look and appear any way you want. People think with their eyes. And that's just not with virtual, that's a lot of places. People think with their eyes. And that's all they're going to see is what has been provided. They'll be hammering into your brain a virtual reality. And I'm not for it. I mean, playing a simple game with it, yeah, it's great, have some fun. But when it goes past that, I mean, there's already the means to create a full life for people out there. They can have romances. Like I said, people go to church in there. You can imagine you're getting married. You can imagine you're having sex. You can imagine anything you want. You can imagine that you went on a shopping spree, 12 shopping bags deep, and then when you take it off, you're disappointed because, well, there's nothing there. But it's in your headset. So yeah, and people who, like the woman who said she was groped in a virtual reality room. Well, she wasn't really, but people will become more rude because there's no price to pay for it, because they're not there. They're not doing anything. And that's with any social media platform. A lot of people, I mean, will say things to you on social media that they wouldn't have it in them to say to you in front of your face. So again, it's great technology for training. I'm looking here, it says mentioning using it to train the Air Force. They go into virtual simulations so they can perfect their skills, train to fly the plane, and whatever else you have to do in the military. Okay, But for daily grind things, I am not a fan of virtual reality. I'm really not. You're not really walking through the forest. You're not really on the beach. You're not really with that person you want to be with. You're not you're not at the game. You're not in a lot of places. You're just not there. You're not really dancing with the band. You're not really a musician in the band. You're not doing a lot of things. But you can be confused very, very fast. Like a dream. Some people, for some, dreams can become very real. So be careful with it as time goes on. I like how they call them, what is it, troll farms. Yeah, troll farms, botnets, troll farms. It's what it is. It's fake. May look nice when you put the headphone on, or put the head when you put the goggles on, but it's fake. So no, you're not really with the person you want to be with. You're not really at the show. You're not really doing a lot of things. And no, don't get confused. Your Christmas shopping has not been done for you because the presents aren't really in the room. It's just the way it is. And no, last week that woman was not broke. So be careful with virtual reality or anything else on the internet or anything else in the great ether of the universe. And be careful with what your kids are doing because they will become programmed very easily. Let's see. Wow, this hour's flying by. Then there was a story. We can get rid of this. That was the Rudy story. Well, one thing is, well, before I get to the other thing, I'm reading a story here today. It says Caesar's Palace and MGM are hopeful for a Las Vegas Strip comeback because even though COVID, everything's been eased up and people are going to Vegas, it's not like it used to be. I miss going to Vegas. The Strip, it's a very unique thing. I think everybody should go to Las Vegas once, have a good Vegas experience, you know, gamble a little bit, go see a show or two if you can, try the restaurants, which are okay. But generally, just the whole one time Las Vegas experience. Me, I've been there 29 times. I used to go for conventions, so it wasn't like I just went there like a pure tourist. I was there for business, usually for the Consumer Electronics Show, the Adult Video Software Dealers Association, which other one? Video Software Dealers Association. There's always a convention in Vegas. That's one good thing about the place. So there's always something. But Consumer Electronics Show, if nothing else, go for that because that is the most incredible convention in the world. Even though again, COVID's been downsized, and recently, yeah, Vegas took a hit because not many people are there. So yeah, they're hoping for a big comeback. Hopefully, we never lose Caesar's Palace because it is Caesar's Palace. No matter what brand new, crazy over the top hotel there is, Caesar's is still Caesar's. What is this? Let's see if I can get personally offended. I can do that offended thing. This is called Vegan Jewish Deli Food is taking off from carrot lox to plant-based pastrami. Carrot lox. It says, well, kosher eaters can sink their teeth into Impossible Burger, which is plant-based meat. That won't be happening anytime soon with Impossible Pork, which recently failed to secure an endorsement from the world's largest kosher certifier. That's because you're calling it pork. You should have called it something else. But who can blame Impossible Foods for trying, right? Okay. It says over the past 4 years, vegan Jewish delis sprouting up everywhere. Vegan hubs in Portland, Oregon, so on and so on. Now you're getting carrot lox, mushroom pastrami. Can you believe that? Mushroom pastrami. That's when they used to give you portobello mushroom and tell you it was a steak. Now it's a pastrami. It's cured, it's salted, it's spiced like a pastrami, but it's really just a big mushroom. And it's not a pastrami. I got people. This is what I mean. People can be programmed to believe carrot lox or beet-based Reubens. Oh man, this is not good. No, an experiment with plant-based pastrami leads to a Shark Tank investment. I guess they try it on Shark Tank. Okay, there you go. Um, yeah, one of the companies made a good statement. People have taste buds; they don't want to eat sprout salad. Of course not. But and they feel like they're munching down a delicious mile high deli sandwich, and they should be able to do that. Yes, they should. But somehow, getting people to fool themselves into believing that a mushroom is a pastrami somehow not only seems wrong, but if you got people stupid enough to believe this, a Reuben is just something in the middle, usually pastrami with corned beef, but pastrami with, with coleslaw. We call it Russian dressing, which is really mayonnaise and ketchup. That's what we used to call Russian dressing. But pretty much, you can put any dressing you want on it, but it's still not pastrami or anything else. It's not really a burger. It may be on a burger bun, then you got to make the bread difference. There's no egg in the bun, in the bread. Well, anyway, this seems like a really wrong thing. And I'm looking at this picture of the bagel and what's on it. Let me see this thing. Well, it looks like there is onion and tomato, the way most people put on. And that's lettuce or whatever green that is. Okay, fine. There's cream cheese, which has to be made differently also because, again, there's no egg. There it is. No, it does not look like lox the way I know it. And I don't know what that other thing is, but no, it's just a healthy size looking sandwich made for the picture. But no, it's ew. It's just ew. I don't want that. Look at this thing. I wish they gave me this amount of lox when I really do order a sandwich. This is a well-stocked sandwich. Was that parsley in there? Oh, nasty. And there's capers and that's fine. But no, and there's a pickle. Gotta have a pickle if you like them. But no, somehow the fooling of people so they can believe what they want, so they can eat what they want. I want lox on a bagel. Well, go ahead and get one. But you're vegan, so you're not. That's that's part of the territory. So let me make it out of other things so you can feel better about yourself. You should be feeling good about yourself anyway. You should be feeling good that you're eating healthy. If being a vegan to you is healthy and you feel good and you feel strong and everything is going well, then you should be happy eating vegan food without trying to fool yourself. And there's plenty of vegan dishes out there. There are. I don't mean everyone should eat nuts and berries and leaves off a tree. There's plenty of vegan dishes out there. And if, again, bread, you want to make it without egg, you want to make it vegan, okay, fine. Make it anything you want. But let's not fool people into believing that a mushroom is pastrami. It's not. This is drying out my throat. So anyway, I was telling someone today I hadn't seen in a while when she was asking me about what I do out here. Well, look at what I'm talking about. Look at the things, the oddities I'm talking about. Pretty much of a tone of, what? This is what I'm reading? Mushroom as pastrami? What? That's how I approach most of the stories I talk about, because listen to this stuff. No, it's not a podcast. Very good, deep-rooted topics on one of the major networks. And we're talking about this today with my guest. I wish I had a guest like that. I really don't. But even when I do have a guest, you've heard me talk. I'm certainly not. I don't have a light FM type of voice. I do have a fake radio voice if I want to play around with it. But I'm not one of those talk show. I don't have a talk show type of demeanor. That's definitely not going to be me. Not today. Not tonight. Unless I get paid a lot of money for it. Jade, you raising my salary? You're going to pay me to talk in a more dignified way? Her eyebrows are going up. She's not even looking at the camera for a response. What's wrong with your hand, Jade? What happened to the other 4 fingers? What's going on? Anyway, so that is pretty much what we're talking about here. Faking people out one way or another. So that's pretty much the theme to my show today. Not that I ever try to give the show a theme. The original theme of the show, until things change, has been long since gone, hopefully to bring it back. But right now, I'm just talking about the absurdities, the ridiculousness in the world, like people thinking they're getting a big bargain on Amazon when a lot of things cost, if not the same amount of money, and you can easily walk out a nice day and go shop for yourself down the block. Or people thinking that fungus growing out of the dirt is really a pastrami or a corn beef. It's just not the case. It's just not the case. I wouldn't know how else to put it. But I do get out here to come and tell all of you what I think every week. No, just for the record, I will not be downloading Donald Trump's app. I will not be buying Kanye's equipment to listen to his album. I will not be doing a lot of those things. Why? Because I can't be wasting my time. I don't want to waste my time, and I'm too cheap to waste the money on a little piece of that looks like a bottle cap. I just can't do that. So, and even the people I'm the biggest fan of, the music I appreciate the most, if they have to charge me $200, unless I know there's an album coming out every week, I am not paying for it. Then again, going to a live show is no bargain either. But, you know, right now, tickets are high up everywhere you go. Insane, really, really is. And there are some shows I want to go see. But once the resale agents get hold of it, the ticket agents need a bank loan to go out for 2 hours. And it's not that I can't afford the tickets. It's who wants to spend it. It's not like I haven't seen the show before. I'd rather go out. Well, no, I'd rather not go out and get a mushroom box, but you know what I mean. Rather do other things. So tell me what you're thinking of. You can always email me at upfrontfrank@gmail.com. For Jade and her band, the Trainwalkers, and all her other stuff going on, right? JadeZabrick@gmail.com. Go to the website, skiescrescentradio.com, thetrainwalkers.com. There's a lot of dot. Just pretty much go to your search engine, write in the words .com, and we're going to pop up somewhere because there's a lot of us. Find us on Facebook at all the same old places, the same things I mentioned. Upfront Frank, Jade Zabrick, Skies Crescent Radio. And that's how we do it. We're everywhere. Like weeds, we pop up. Let's see. Other than that, this week has been quite pretty easy going. Tomorrow, if you go on Facebook at the Thompson Chemist, 132 Thompson Street in Manhattan. That's in the Soho-ish area of Manhattan. The Thompson Street Medicine Show goes on from 5 to 7. That's where the live band is. You can find them on Facebook or on YouTube, Thompson Street Medicine Show. I will be holding the camera and streaming it live for the deputy. It's the sheriff and the deputy. That's our old friend, Catherine Lewis. I'll be holding her camera, her phone, streaming live, talking to anybody who sends in a message and says hello. And if there's a live request, I'll pass it along. Can't promise it gets played. But why it's a big show? Because tomorrow is February 22nd of 2022. 22222. So watch out for your daily lottery numbers, because unless you get it in really early in the morning, you're not getting to play that number tomorrow. It's just not happening. 22222. That means 222 when the pick 3 number is out. 2222 when the pick 4 number is out. So you better think of something different. Yeah, it's interesting that way. Me, I'm just looking to hit second place in the Powerball. I'm not even greedy to want the first place. I'll be happy with the second place. I'll live a nice life moving. I don't need that $600 billion, million, whatever they give you. I'll be happy with 3 million. Yeah. But, well, as I said last week, I do know a guy that hit a $10 million lotto once. Yeah. He played his daughter's birthday on every ticket, on every game on the ticket, put in the kicker number, a random extra number. The birthday came up. He hit one of the kicker numbers. Then he had a couple of others, and he did, won $10 million. So there's hope for me yet. That's all I got to say. And pretty much we're about done over here. I'm going to sit there and just wait a couple of more minutes because somehow I don't want my times to get too short. You know, we have our standards. But we do like it if you leave some comments, some questions. I will address them. I will read them. I will answer them next week. And then everything goes along pretty well. Tonight, what is tonight? Tonight, if you're on Facebook, Live Music Mondays is out there on Facebook. All the Music Mondays has a Z instead of an S. So you can see them play their songs. And Jade's having a show come up. She's being very quiet and hush hush about this. She's being very quiet. She won't even tell me where it is. I'm gonna open my window on show night, hear the sound, follow the noise, because very, very quiet. Jade is singing. And that's the story. So send Jade requests. That's it. This is the idea. JadeZabrick@gmail.com. Send her your requests for songs and see if she likes it. Yes, that's it. Send her a request. Maybe. See what happens. All right. The show is about done. I've rambled on long enough. Again, seriously, be careful with what your kids are doing on the internet of any kind, because it is a dangerous non-world out there. It's a dangerous virtual world out there. At least when the little kids are out there, the street, you're with them, hopefully. All right, everyone, have a good night. I will see you next week. I'm keeping track of my show numbers because we're coming up sooner than you think on my 300th show. Believe it or not, 300. I don't know if I'll get to 301. I may just sit here and, like so Jews say, we might just platz and burst with excitement and maybe nothing left of me. But maybe, I don't know, maybe we'll pop some champagne. I don't know. I'll think of something. Maybe we'll have them play the song out here in a while. Maybe we'll play a song. I don't know. Maybe we'll think of something. But yes, we are coming up on show number. How many shows do I have in my pocket right now? 1 second. Before we go, where's my little thing, my record of all this nonsense? Here it is. Here it is. This is it. Here it is. We are coming up. Today is show number 275. That's all. I know I should be a little tighter in what I'm doing, but I wasn't thinking of doing this. So yes, we are on show number 275. We had a couple of weeks off here and there, so maybe I could have been show 279, but what's the difference? We were at 275. And that's what's going on. Everybody, I will see you next week. Keep rooting, keep watching, keep listening. And please go to, if you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. You can always use another one in the club. Hit the subscribe and a like if you like any of the shows you heard. All right, everybody, have a good night. I'll see you.